Yo, 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 welcome back to Crazy Bowl TV. Big up to Mandem in the building. We are back. Football is taking a quick break. International football is up and running. Big up to Mandem. We got LFC vibes today. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate all of you guys, man. Thank you. Big up to CJ. He's in the building. We know Lee Wizkid is in the building. How are you guys, man? I hope your week is going on well after a wonderful weekend. You know what I mean? Wonderful weekend. The transfer window is closed. So we move on, right? We move on. We got everything that we wanted, except one. But we move. But we're going to discuss all that. And that's why we're here today. We're going to discuss all that today. It's very important that we have a talk. You know what I mean? We need to have a talk. Yeah. Today's show is going to be great, yo. It's going to be great. I'm going to have a chance to chop it up with the people. Yes. It's wonderful to see you guys after the international transfer break. I know transfer window starts again in January, so we're back at it again. So moving forward, I think the shows, because we are mostly LFC centric, we're gonna focus on LFC vibes a lot. Right? We're gonna be talking a lot about Liverpool, what's going on during the season. It's gonna be a long season. There's so many competition coming up, and we're gonna discuss it at the LFC vibes. And then, of course, we will have our calling shows. Mostly it's going to be on Saturday. And if need be, we'll move it on Sunday, depending on what the people want. So, yeah, man, people, please keep rocking with us as you have done all summer. We appreciate you guys. The numbers look really good for us. And please keep supporting us, man. Keep the subscription up. Keep the subs up. Anfield Irishman's production is still in effect. We get to 1,000, it's me against the hot sauce, the chicken wing hot sauce. At this point, I'm 99.5%. So I don't know how many hot chicken wings I'm going to eat, because the sauces were saucing, right? The whole summer, my sauces were correct. So I don't know what he's going to say or do to put me under pressure. But big up to Anfield Irishman. We got MK Toes in the building already, causing chaos. Welcome, brother. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, man. So big up to all of you guys, man. Please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Let's get the subs up. Our goal to hit 1,000 is still in effect. You guys have been so great and supporting us as we grow. So let's all grow together. The season is going to be different. Liverpool, right now, we are a club that we're on a different level now. We are on the different level. And the fact that we're on a different level, we, the fans, also need to start thinking on a certain scale. We cannot keep doing what we used to do anymore. That does not make sense. If you want to move forward, you can't be thinking like you used to think in the back. Back then. Anfield Irish, man, big up yourself, man. Now I'm just promoting your production that is coming up when we get to 1,000. So, at this point, I don't know what else you're gonna do, because 98% is already high and everything went well for the sauces. So I think you might have to come up with something different. So, by the way, let me know if you're available. I will send you the link. He said, have you seen how happy Isak looks in training? Bro, the man, Isak is a killer. Have you guys seen the interview? What you said is 1,000%. He looked so excited when he went back to Sweden for his international break. He looks like this is a man who feels relief. He is so calm looking. Yeah, and a dangerous man is a happy man. So, and then have you guys seen his interview? This guy is a stone cold killer. They ask him, what are you expecting in your he signed a 5 to 6 year contract. What are you expecting to accomplish? He says win everything without no emotions. That is exactly what we want, and that is exactly what the manager wants. No emotions. We're not here to party. We're here to work. And that's where I was going with my whole mindset of how Liverpool fans now, we moving forward, how Liverpool fans should be thinking. We can't keep having that same old mentality of sentimental and this and this and it's the Liverpool way and no. We are here. We are here and everybody's here and they're trying to catch up. So if you thinking like people down here, then you should not be a Liverpool fan. Go be with them people down there. I just bought 2 pairs of rubber gloves and all left hands. Yes, sir. Hashtag free him. Mr. Gehi. He'll be a Liverpool player. We shall discuss about that too. Yes. Get the likes up, people. Get the likes up. Thank you so much, CJ. So as I'm saying, moving forward, Liverpool right now, it's not just because the money we spent. The idea is how Liverpool moved in this transfer window. And that's why one of my my title says giving LFC and FSG their flowers. People be like, well, why are you giving them their flowers? They did their job. Well, if they did their job, then when they do something wrong, you should not criticize them. It goes hand in hand. When somebody do something wrong, you give them a constructive criticism. Please, what you did was wrong. Don't do this, don't do that, right? But then when they do something right, we're like, oh, well, you did your job, so why should you get a pat in the back? We're not giving them cookies. You have to give somebody whatever you gave them when they were wrong, you have to give them something when they're right. Otherwise, don't give them anything at all and let them do what they do. Okay? So for me, I'm going to reward LFC and FSG for doing something that I don't see any ball club has ever done. And shout out to my brother Ant. And that's something that I've also said over and over and over. When everybody was screaming FSG out, did you guys know that at the same time, a lot of clubs, I can say probably 95% of the biggest clubs or any of the clubs in the world were copying how these man them were doing business. Everybody was looking at how Liverpool was doing business. And now you see the rewards of the hard work of taking time, being methodical about how they move. Now everybody saw it in real life. People have no clue. People want us to be investigated. People want us to be like, how are they spending all this money? How are they moving like that? How are they doing what they're doing? They didn't spend any money last year. They won the league without spending money. How are they doing it? This must be illegal. How they have all this money? Liverpool spent almost 500 mil. And still had, I think, close to 200 more to go before they will hit PSR. And that's just England. So imagine how much we can go before we hit FFP. Right? A lot of things that we do have been copied by other clubs. A lot of things. But you see, Liverpool fans are so sometimes petulant, they don't pay attention to the good things that Liverpool does. All they want to do is spend money. If you don't spend money, then you're not doing anything. So when it comes to Liverpool, for some of us who study how our owners move and how well they move around the spaces, we see that, wow, okay, they're making certain moves where people that we're going to be up here. Other clubs were just spending and spending and spending, and then they went belly up. Look, Chelsea spent close to $2 billion. They for a club to spend $2 billion, you should be winning everything. But that was not their game plan. They spend so that they can sell. Liverpool, on the other hand, has for the past 15 years, we've been methodical on how we move our money, right? Have they made mistakes? Oh, a hell lot of them. They made so many mistakes. But the good thing about Liverpool is when they make a mistake, they learn about it and they do their best not to do it again and fix the problem. Now we can be somewhere and we are at a place where we don't have to worry about finances. Big up to Shaki. He's in the building watching us from X. Thank you so much. Thank you. Make sure you hit the like button on the X channel too, man. Thank you so much, brother. So, and the reason why I'm kind of stalling a little bit because I want to wait till Irishman comes in because there's something that I really, really want to talk about that I need another great mind to discuss this with me because you guys do not understand the patience Liverpool or FSG or whoever, to me, they're all the same because it's under the one umbrella. How they had to move during this summer. Already we hear the, big up to Redbird. He's in the building. He said, Palace done Gehi dirty, but not many saying it. As for fans, saying it is Liverpool's fault gives you heads a wobble. Gehi for 35 million or free. Palace lose big time. In the end, great business, Palace. No, we're going to talk about that. That is one of the reasons why. Big up to Irishman. He's in the building. How are you doing, sir?
Very good. How are you?
Doing well. Today we just gonna try to distinguish the great minds from everybody else. The whole hooplas and the nonsense that everybody likes to do. Agenda. Let's just come up with something, and then we just stick to that, right, Irishman? Today I said I want to give LFC and FSG their flowers. Somebody might say, why? They just did their job, something they were supposed to do anyway. No. When they do something bad, you criticize it. Otherwise, shut up when they do something bad and just leave it as that. So if somebody do something bad, you give them a criticism. I think it's also fair to give them a form of applause if they do something right? Am I the only one who thinks that way?
No, I think for me, the criticism for them has always been a little bit poorly direct. I don't know. Like it just to me, it always seemed like there was, as soon as they did do something wrong or didn't perform in certain ways, it was everybody knew all about it. Everybody knew everything about it, but it was kind of this willful kind of refusal to look at what they're actually doing in the background as well, building the team up to the point where you can kind of get to this point now and do what there is. So I always thought that was a little bit disingenuous, where they like just when you look at like some of the other owners around how they, they should do what they did, and it took a long time, but that just shows you how badly off the club was as well. Great manager, and all that time we've won multiple trophies between when they took over and this, call it starting point. New FSG, new all that. So yeah, I've always been not like pro FSG, but always just very
common sense,
very much on board and with the way that they ran the club. I thought, back in the day, maybe when owners were allowed to pump money in, I mean, basically the only criticism that you can have is that they weren't as rich as some of the other people. Could they put more of their own cash in? Well, they always said they weren't going to do that. They came out on day one and told people how they were going to run the club, and people just seem to kind of want to ignore that. Like, he should never put a penny of his own money in. Like, it's some kind of gotcha. It's like, yeah, that's what they told you at the start, that they weren't going to do that. So, yeah. I'm just glad that they've actually been able to show people that they weren't just, I don't know, lazy, cheap, poor owners, that there was a point that they were trying to get to, and they've got there. I'm just glad that they've actually been able to show people that this was what they've always been trying to do, and that this is what they said they get Liverpool back to without having to rely on cheating, basically financial doping, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I've always been a very big fan of theirs, especially in terms of the people that they hire, the people that they recruit, and like you said, when they make mistakes, because people in a new year, a new area, a new sport made mistakes at the start, they never really did it again. They just like, oh, cool, that's not going to wash here, that's not going to work here. Cool, we didn't realize, we're not going to be, and they've never done it again. I just think they've been top owners, absolutely brilliant owners. Could they have spent more back in the day? Maybe, but I don't think we'd be where we are now if they had.
We will be cash strained because now they have to balance the books, right? Now, Irishman, this is the reason why I'm giving them the flowers, and this is why people don't understand. I know I'm hearing the hashtag free Gehi and that. Do you? Okay, Irishman, I know you work in the professional industry for a long time. How do you deal with people who are incompetent or who do not act like they know what they're doing, because they may have a degree from a high university or high institution, but then when you're dealing with them, you said just because you have money or may have a high degree, you are a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, pardon my French.
You put them in the shit.
You know what I mean? People don't understand. Like, I'm sorry to cut you off, but people don't understand the patience that Edwards and Hughes had to deal with the incompetence of Newcastle and Crystal Palace. Do you understand that? Okay, go ahead, Irishman. People don't get it. Crystal Palace, the chairman was on a fitness vacation on the final day of transfer window, knowing that his club needed his help.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. People don't get the like when you are dealing with people and you are up here, and then you have to find a way to dumb yourself down so that you can work with them down there. They say always meet people where they are. A lot of times, no, you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we were worried about that all season. I was particularly that there was a lot of kind of, why don't Liverpool just do this? Why don't Liverpool just do that?
Right.
It was kind of like, it was clear to me that these people weren't really lying. It was just coming down to them getting replacements, be it a Gehi replacement or an Isak replacement. And we were basically relying on clubs that, not in Palace's case, but in Newcastle's case, that were pretty much incompetent. And it's like, yeah, that is absolutely nerve-wracking, where you're handing off a part of your project basically to someone that you're hoping might be able to get it done, but you don't really trust them to be able to get it done. And so all of your hard work and all of your professionalism, all the stuff you've done, will kind of come to naught, because at some point along the chain, that idiot from, the office across the road that always loses files or always sends them to the wrong people, or he constantly makes mistakes. You're relying on him to do his job perfectly for 3 months. Otherwise, your shit is going to get messed. All your plans, everything you put in place, you're relying on these people. That was to me was a big problem. Yeah, and so the patience and the steel that they showed. There must have been some pretty nervous moments with Hughes and Edwards over the last couple of days. Absolutely, until that thing was finally done. I mean, people were like, they were talking about all of the things that Gehi had done. His video had been done in case, just so they could release it that night and all that. And then they're like, I'm just shocked. I'm not buying this whole. I mean, they tried to get a replacement for Gehi. Okay, cool. But their version of trying to get a replacement for Gehi was going to Brighton at like 4:00 and trying to loan some random Igor Brazilian dude like that. That to me didn't seem like a very serious attempt to replace him.
But
didn't feel.
But
right
that
to me.
Irishman, I've been saying that for years, and I told it to some of my Crystal Palace friends. I said, your chairman, Parrish, is the useless chairman ever. You see, this is what happened when you start to win. people start to recognize you more, right? Parish for a long time have been hiding behind Roy Hodgson and just surviving the EPL. Just stay in the EPL. Don't get relegated. Stay in the EPL. He messed around and brought in a coach like Glasner. Now you win. You won the FA Cup. You won the two big clubs, Liverpool and City, to win 2 trophies. Now people are looking at you like, okay, you know, you may be a small club, but you're doing big boys things. So now people are paying attention to you, right? You have had some very good players. For a long time, everybody, that's Crystal Palace, that small club in London. They kicking, punching above their weight. But now you're doing things that people are like, okay, we see you. And then the incompetence of how he's been running the club now is in full force. You knew all summer, since last year, you said we are not selling him. You lost 70 million for that. This year, you decided to sell him. And he told you, I am not signing a new contract, so whatever you have to do, do. And you wait till the last minute. And on the last minute, Irishman, you decided that, you know what, I'm going to fly my private jet and go to a fitness retreat or whatever, fitness class in another country, while the window needed to be done, where you needed to talk to this guy and say, hey, listen, replacing you is impossible. We couldn't do it. We tried to get this Brazilian guy. It didn't work out. So can we wait till January? At least let him know. Do you know the embarrassment that Gueye had to endure, knowing that all he needed is just one signature, and the club that they say they love him, he plays for the club, he's the captain. So what happens if something goes wrong? Now you have destroyed his life. And the chairman could not even sit there and don't even say respect your player, but respect yourself and your club, the club that they love so much, that let me get this thing done. Glasner is a very, very, I don't want to say it because I'll get banned, but Glasner is looking for Glasner. He doesn't care about Crystal Palace. This was an attempt for him to get out so that he could be free, and knowing that the Manchester job could be possible in a couple months, because Leverkusen has set the precedent. 2 games, you out of here. And Leverkusen were not just looking at the 2 games that he played. He managed. They're looking at the Manchester United history. That's why they got him out of there, because they knew it wasn't going to get better. So they were like, nah, we're not going to do the same mistake Manchester United did. Give him a whole year, and then he's going to screw us up. So they were like, nah, thank you. We'll pay the money. Bye-bye. So Glasner was looking at it like, at least I can get a Bayern Leverkusen. Bayern Leverkusen is in the Champions League. So he's like, that's a big step, right? After that, if I do well in Leverkusen, I can go to any big club I want, just like Alonso did. So he was doing it for himself. I think Glasner was called a bluff, and now he's stuck. Because he knew probably the chairman was like, I'm not going to waste 35 million. I'm going to get the 35 million. And then he was going to be like, then I quit, so that he could get himself free and be available to any big clubs that needs a new manager. But right now he's stuck. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the whole Crystal Palace ecosystem was a clusterfuck. And it started with the chairman. Can you imagine for Irishman, you about to strike a deal, a very important deal to make more money for you. And then when the contract was ready to sign, you were like, you know what? I need to go to my my Spain class in Budapest. I'll be back to sign the papers. While you knew that the paperwork was not fully ready yet. That's what Parish did. And for Liverpool to have the patience to deal with this nonsense all summer, that's why I'm giving them their flowers, because that's like Irishman said. We were sitting there and be like, people, move on. Why are you still sitting there? Move on, move on, move on. We didn't even know the incompetent people that they were dealing with. And they had to dump themselves down and say, we got to take this risk. And the same thing goes with Newcastle. I'm sorry. But Irishman, go ahead with this Crystal Palace stuff.
Yeah, I mean, No, but it's one of those things. Like it was like what they were kind of risking. I don't know about the owners at Newcastle, but you're risking a scenario where nobody is happy. Uh, the fans at Palace probably are vaguely happy that he's staying. They're probably happier that he's staying than he's going. But messy scenario. The owner, Parish, whatever, lost out on a fee. They know they're going to lose a player for nothing when they could have gotten 35 minutes. So they're not happy. Mark Gay missed out on his, his dream move and all that stuff. So clearly he's not happy. And then you've got a manager who probably didn't have a fun time over the last few days with Parish, threatening to quit. Well, apparently threatening to quit or looking like walking away if they were to sell his best defender and not replace him. That bit I'm fine with. I'm not really overly critical of Glasner. He's just trying to do what's best for his club.
Right.
So, but you've got nobody happy. No, Gay's not happy. The owner isn't happy. The manager isn't happy. So no, everybody's lost out there. They're just now trying to hope. You kind of rely on Mark Gay's professionalism to be a bit pissed off for a couple of weeks. Realize that it is what it is. He can't leave now. He may as well get on and play and get in. That's about the best they can really forget or they can hope for, because nobody got what they wanted, other than, I suppose, to a degree, Glasner. But I don't think he wanted it like this. I don't think he would have wanted it to have to happen. Like, he wouldn't have wanted it to end up keeping Gahey because Gahey's dream move collapsed at the last minute. He would have wanted to end up keeping Gahey because Gahey wanted to stay.
Right.
Or something, or we never even made a bid, and thank God Liverpool never actually came in for him in the end, kind of thing. But for have a player like him who's had some issues in the past when it comes to wanting to leave clubs and move clubs, to have that kind of fall apart is not really ideal for their plans as a team, or the way that they want to set up, the way that they want to play. You just kind of rely on the guy. That's a bit strong, true. It's a World Cup year. So he is going to want to stay fit, stay playing. That's really the best they can hope for. Or maybe we come in January for 25 million.
Now, Liverpool, I think Liverpool, if he stays, you know how hard he has to put his mindset to say, I still have to play hard. Because if he doesn't and his form dip, he could lose the opportunity. And I think this is the part where I love my club so much. Liverpool will come back for it. Right? This guy is an ultimate professional. He did everything right. And still, because of an incompetent chairman and petulant coach, Mr. What's his name? Glasner, you should have been asking for a player of his caliber the whole summer. What were you waiting for? Why were you to threaten the chairman that you're going to quit if I don't get a replacement? Why didn't you tell the chairman this until the last day or the last week? That's the frustration that I have, because Irishmen, they had the whole summer. This wasn't a last 1 week transfer window. This has been going on since January. They already knew. He said, I'm not signing a new contract. Oh, big up to the newness, Ray. Thank you so much. Big up to Pops. Pops is in the building, people. Pops is in the building. Please hit the like button, people. Please hit the like button. Right now, we're discussing the incompetence of Crystal Palace and what Liverpool had to endure to be able to stay quiet and patient for all this to go around this summer, because a lot of us were like, yo, why don't you guys just move on? Big up to Ents, man, is in the building. Big up, Ents. Ents, if you're available, man. Pops, if you're available, just let me know. I will send you the link. I'm still buffing on how an owner or a chairman will say, I'm going to go to another country for a fitness class while we need players to come to my club. That alone is, you need to lose the club just for that alone. Like, that is stupid beyond comprehension. Gahey right now, I mean, he has the best person he can talk to, and that's Virgil. So Virgil is the only one who can basically say, brother, just be patient, keep playing. If you do well, you will get your move to Liverpool. I mean, Irishman, can you get into the psyche of the player at the time on how he's feeling? I'm pretty sure he's crushed. What do you think his teammates are thinking? Say, wait, you guys, this guy has done everything right. You made him captain. And then when it was time for you guys to, it's your turn, you backstab him, basically. What do you think the player is going into the season thinking?
Oh, well, to know what's going on in someone's head, yeah, difficult. But just really being able to switch it. Anthony Gordon, I don't want to speak too much about Anthony Gordon, but he spoke about it last summer. He spoke about what had happened to him. I think they were talking about Isak, and he said, he didn't speak too much, but the point that he said that he thought he was being sold. It had been communicated to him that they were going to sell him, and he was like, "Oh, right, okay." He said that's a big thing to find out. Even as a player, if you weren't, maybe you're finding out it's a bigger club and all of that. But he's just there saying, well, as a player at the club, to be told that you're going to be sold, you're gone, you're moving somewhere else. That's a bit of a shock, or whatever way you want to look at it. It takes you a while to get your head around that. And then he said, when you get your head into that space and everything's cool to go, then you find out, he said, and that's what happened to me. He said, then I was told that, oh no, actually, you're not being sold. You're staying here. And he said, it's twice as hard to get your head around the fact that you're staying after thinking you're leaving than it is to find out that you're leaving, if that makes sense. That was the point he was trying to make. It's like, once you've decided, once your brain is, I play for Liverpool now, I've left Palace, you've kind of said your goodbyes kind of in metaphorical ways or actual literal ways or whatever, to then have to switch your mind back to, oh no, I still actually play for this club. He said, that's different. Now every person is different. He said that was twice as hard as finding out you're having to leave the club. Gordon hasn't been amazing this year. Maybe that's got something to do with that. I don't know.
I said at the beginning of the summer, I said it, Irishman. I was like, Gordon not playing well wasn't an accident, because this guy was flying high. Even playing with Isak, people were like, yo, look at Gordon. A lot of Liverpool fans were looking at Gordon more than they were looking at Isak last year.
God, imagine.
So now you put this player, the captain, the player you said you need, now you put him in a position where he doesn't know whether should I play hard because I don't want to get injured, because I might move to Liverpool, or is the World Cup year I have to play because he's probably the best center back in England. Then what does it say about the rest of his teammates? Because they love him. This is not the Isak situation. This is a Palace situation where they love this guy and they were all happy for him. Do you think the rest of the teammates are going to be like, I'm going to sacrifice myself for you, and then you do me like that? As a matter of fact, I think next transfer window, a lot of them will be like, get me out of here. And the manager is not, his contract is done. He's not signing a new contract either. The manager is done next summer. So, like, how do you think the players are going to feel when you, the manager who want this guy so bad, you haven't even signed a new contract? It would have been different if the manager said, you know what, I'm signing a new contract, keep this guy here. Then we will be like, okay. The players will feel like, okay, we this guy means business. He wants to do something with us here. Whatever we want here is not over. But you, the manager, you are waiting to get a big deal somewhere. And then you blocking somebody to go to another big club so that he gets his dream move. I think that was like such a low blow to a player. Every time players are always demonized when they want something big for their career. We tell them, oh, you don't have we give them we demonize them every way possible. But then when it comes to the club, everybody wants to be like, well, let's make excuses for the club. Sorry, Parish needs to lose that club. Crystal Palace fans deserve much better. This is not the first manager who was so good for them. Before Glasner came there was another manager who did very well, and Parish did not back him. So they fell off, and that manager had to get fired. And now, because they won stuff, he can't hide anymore. And he happens to have a manager who's like, bro, I'm bigger than you now. You're just the money man. And the same thing goes for Newcastle. except that yes, is on the bigger scale. So I'm giving FSG and LFC their flowers to having the patience to deal with such incompetent oppositions like this. And all of us who in the real world have worked with people like that, whether they are your boss or they are somebody with money or somebody with everything that everybody wants. But because they have this money or this stature, they think they are smart like everybody else. And you looking at them like, "Bad, you are dumb doorknob." Big up to Nee for joining us. We just talking about the incompetence that Liverpool had to deal with all summer, i.e. Newcastle and Crystal Palace. And then we were demonized for unsettling players when we didn't do anything. Oh, you're on mute. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Nope. People send the cash. Send the super chat for Nice.
Send the cash.
Send the cash for Nice mic, because the mic is not working with us right now. Go out and come back in here and see if it works. But before he comes back, Irishman, I want us to discuss the match. I don't think I've spoken with you since the Arsenal match. Did we talk about it?
Yeah.
There's something that is bothering me. And maybe it's just the way I watch a game, or sometimes twice. Why do people keep saying that Liverpool play bad in the first half and not understanding the mission that Arne Slot told his players? I'm not going to say Arsenal didn't do well. It was a game of chess, right? You move, I move. You move, I move. Until I find a space, I can't do what I want to do. So you got to give Arsenal their credit for doing something well, right, in the first half. But people are making it seem like we play so bad that, the game is like we got lucky. Again, that word lucky is last year was, you guys haven't played anybody. And this year's, lucky. You got lucky against Bournemouth. You got lucky against Newcastle. Now, Szoboszlai wealthy free kick. If it wasn't for that, nobody was going to score. And I'm like, you guys were not paying attention to the match. Or is it just me?
Well, they clogged it up. They made it difficult. So, yeah, we didn't look like we were playing brilliant football.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt. Just came up against that wall. Mm-hmm. That Arsenal wall. I don't think many players or many teams would have been able to, go out there and pass it around and play through them. They talking about 7 defenders. Negative tactics. So they put Calafiori did attack a lot and stuff like that. He was a bit of a wild card for them. But I'm no surprise really that it took us a while to break them down. They're well drilled and good at what they do. And no, we didn't look amazing. Of course, it didn't. It wasn't a good game. I wouldn't be looking forward to watching it a second or third time.
Yeah,
it was not a fun game to watch. But it is a top. I don't want to call them a title contender, but they're a top 3 team. Come to Anfield trying hard not to get beat. It's what really do you expect? Second half, we looked a lot better shape-wise.
Yeah.
And I suppose when you win because you score a goal like that, it's an easy one for people to say, oh, you got lucky, that free kick went in. Well, that's where he aimed it, right? So, it's not like he just blindfolded himself and threw the ball. That's where he aimed it. That's where it went. So there's lucky and there's lucky. I think what did Ben Hogan? I think Ben Hogan said it. He said, "The more I practice, the luckier I get." Ben Hogan, famous old golfer, said, "The more I practice, the luckier I get." Apparently, he practiced that. It was a beautiful strike. It went in. If Declan Rice. Did they get lucky beating Real Madrid because of those 2 Declan Rice free kicks? No, they're 2 worldly free kicks. Fair play to them.
We saw his free kick at Anfield. The ball is still traveling in the on the docks. Nee, are you with us now? Or?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. I think there's
All
a
right,
slight
sure.
there's a slight echo on your side. So Irishman, this is the first half stats, right? The first half that everybody said Liverpool plays so hard, horribly bad. And you look, if I were to remove the Liverpool Arsenal and take Mo and Calafiori out, and you look at this stat, do you think that one team overplayed the other one? This is the first half. The half that they say we were so poor.
Yeah, look, it just seemed like corner after corner after corner for a while. That was really it. But that's about it. Yeah, 49-51. One shot on target out of all those 8. It was poor. Like there was very few actual. There was lots of bits and pieces and breaking balls around the edge of the penalty area and stuff. There was very few clear cut out and out striker chances. You know. XG was minimal. I think the XG was tiny in the game. I think half a goal each, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Arsenal will. That's what I don't like about Arsenal is the fact that they know they can do that and get away with it. Like they could have easily drawn that game, and that's the way he just has that inbuilt fear, lack of ambition. So that's why I don't like playing against them because they're big, they're strong, they're physical, they waste time. All the dark arts, all those things, which is cool. You know, you've got to come up against that. You got to beat that.
Yeah.
But for a team like Arsenal, I just think it's very poor for them. That it's very the Stoke Alona thing and all that a little bit. But that's more befitting of a mid-table team or something. You know, just they should have better play. They should have the courage to at least try and play better football. I think.
Nee, what do you think, man? The match, looking at the stat that I put in, everybody said Liverpool was so poor, but 49% of possession is not poor for me. The idea is you have to give Arsenal credit for stifling the midfield, which is our strongest suit, right? Which made their defense very, very strong, even though Saliba was gone. So giving Arsenal their credit, because this is the thing. I've seen clubs come to Liverpool. Last year, I lost my mind when Liverpool played Bournemouth, even though we won 3-0. I'm like, but they still have 19 shots, right? That's what I was telling Ents. I was not worried when I was watching the game because they have what, 5 corners, and everybody said they are dangerous in the corners, and we defended all the corners. Now the excuse they're saying now is like, oh, because Saka wasn't there, so he usually take the corners from the in swinger. They had 6 shots, 1 on target. Now you could say Liverpool is very poor that you have 2 shots and none of them on target. Fair. Duality 48-52. That's not that big of a difference. So looking at that, I'm saying, why are people, even some Liverpool fans, say that we play so poor? Now, this is the thing that I want people to understand. Games like this are not for entertainment. A lot of people went there for entertainment. The managers, which I'll give Arteta credit, and Slot, they were not setting up to entertain anybody. They were setting up to get the result. So if people are going in looking for entertainment, I'm sorry, you're going to be disappointed. There's only be a few managers who can play at that high level and entertain you. One of them was Jurgen Klopp. The other one was Pep Guardiola. But then you saw what the rival fans were saying. Oh, you guys' rivalry was soft. So, Nee, if you are looking at this, what would be your, analysis? Oh, man, you disappeared. We can't hear you, man. What's going on with Nee today? Somebody please send a super chat so we can buy him a new microphone. It's not working. We can't hear you. Okay, he's went now. So that's my thing, Irishman. The idea is people need to understand that the managers are not there to entertain people. Yeah, football is supposed to be entertaining, but they want result. And when result is needed, everything has to be secondhand. And also for Chelsea fans who had the audacity to say, oh, Liverpool didn't play well, this was such a boring game. How many championships did you guys win with Mourinho playing exactly the same way? I mean, you see what I mean?
I'd take 10 games like that. I think a lot of the bigger teams maybe now, even the slightly bigger teams are going to be a bit more defensive against us. Going to have to be. So we might have to get used to trying to grind out some more games. You know, it's not very often that a team is going to set up against Liverpool and just come out and try and beat us.
Right.
Just try and play their game like a PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern. It's not. There won't be too many of those teams that are going to come out and just say, right, we'll go toe to toe with Liverpool and we'll back us our attack to beat their attack.
Yeah.
So I think we could be in for a lot of, which is where someone like Isak and Wirtz will really come into their own, I think, against those low block teams. That's how you get around that kind of stuff. Darwin Núñez, for all that he's good at, he was never going to, you know, get involved in build up and break down low blocks and stuff like that.
Correct.
Which someone like Isak can do. So it's just a different. That's why Darwin was the kind of player that if he played against teams that were open more often, but like you come to Liverpool and you don't get the space to run into. You know, he's a guy who wants to run into space. 90% of teams in the Premier League just want to sit there and be defensive against us. So you need players like Isak and Wirtz who are probably more comfortable dropping in. I think we probably, I mean, you add Isak into this team against Arsenal, we might have had a bit more joy, but hopefully him and Wirtz can gel pretty quick. Yeah, I mean, hopefully they will. You know, they should to a degree. But if you can get that little three, I don't want to sound like I'm leaving Gakpo out because I'm just not. I'm unsure as to what the plan will be for him.
Right.
But as new players, if Ekitike, Wirtz, and Isak can get used to each other's movements, where they want the ball, how they what they're likely to do, we're going to be opening teams up for fun. No, regardless of, you know, unless they want to put 8 across the box, then it's not going to be that easy to stop. It really isn't. And then you have off the bench options. We've got quality off the bench, but we don't have a wrecking ball striker now. You know, we don't have a chaos striker. You know, no one's talking about chaos anymore, are they? You know, Isak is a lot of things, but he's not chaos. Wirtz is not chaos. Ekitike is not chaos. You know, chaos didn't really work for us, did it? So, yeah, I just think it. But to me, I can't really get over how just the lack of ambition from this Arsenal team that's inbuilt into it. Like this, it comes from the manager. Just that paranoia, that not wanting to lose, but not really knowing how to win. I don't think he had a plan to go there and win that game. I don't know if he could say, if we'll do this, other than doing what they did and hoping for a set piece.
Irishman, can I give you another take?
Sure, yeah.
And I saw that the only person who I think have said it before me, it's Cam, the Man United fan. Shout out to Cam. I think he froze. And this is the reason why, this is where I'm going with. Especially, that's why I'm kind of emphasizing on the first half. I think Arteta came in and Arteta gave us his best, right? And his best was not enough. And then when we came to the second half, he realized that, oh, shoot, Liverpool can go to another gear. And he froze. Because if you listen to most of the spaces, everybody said he should have brought in Eze and Odegaard early.
I would have started Eze.
Yeah, some even said start them, right?
I would have started him.
Yeah.
You're telling me that you don't get more out of Eze than they did out of Martinelli because they got out. What did they get out of Martinelli? 0. So,
which is a fair assessment. But this is the thing. Going off what you said, he doesn't want to lose. When you bring Odegaard and Eze in, that's more attacking than defensive, right? Because now you are a little bit more open.
No, I disagree. I think you could have brought Eze in and asked him to do what Martinelli did. and you would have been just as defensively sound, because they were only really asking him to go. They were only going to play with two wingers up top. I think Eze is disciplined enough, and all of that to be able to work hard. I think they wouldn't have lost anything defensively.
Yeah.
Like if you were thinking about bringing Eze in as one of the midfield three instead of, say, Mikel Merino, then yeah, but sticking him out on the left wing, no, I don't think they would have lost anything from there. Yeah, Eze's a really strong, hard-working player, can work off the left. I don't think he would have let them down, and maybe he could have just given them an hour. But he's played. He's he's match fit. He's Premier League match fit. And I think he just clearly would have caused us more problems. But yeah, I think that was a bit of a fear, Arteta's fear of thinking, oh, he's not quite ready, rather than saying, you know what, we're going super strong at the back, four, and then three in the middle. Feck it, just throw it. Eze can be my wild card. Give him an hour. Because he takes a good free kick. He's just better all around than Martinelli, and I think we would have had a tougher game. So, but I think that's just his fear, his conservative nature, thinking, no, he's only here a few days, blah blah blah. This is the Eze that was instrumental in everything Palace did last year.
Right.
He took penalties. He was relied on like that. He's a stone cold solid player. So. Yeah, he did. He panicked then, like you said, he froze, but then he thawed out pretty quickly and just threw Eze and Odegaard on, because that's your default then. I'll just throw the attackers on.
Yeah. And to me, because this is the game, right? When you watch, this is also the stat, I don't have it yet, but between at one point before we scored the goal, Liverpool had 73% of the ball in the second half. 73% of the ball. And by the time we hit the goal, we scored the goal, we were between 67 to 70% of the ball. So to me, it looked like it doesn't matter what was going on. Liverpool was on the ascendancy. And you know what happened when Liverpool is on ascendancy. And that's where I say he froze. Because if you watch the game at the 60th minute, and I hope my brother Ent is there because he concurred with me, you could see Arsenal falling back.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
They realized that, oh snap, whatever they did in the first half, now it's not doing anymore. It's not working anymore, because guess what? Liverpool has figured it out. It could be because the manager brought in Jones, right? It could be the tactical change that the manager did, which we have to shout out Mr. Slot for that. And you're looking at it, and that's where I think he froze and he realized that, oh snap, Liverpool still have one more gear to go. And if they hit that gear, remember, this is Liverpool that everybody say we are not even playing well. So if this is Liverpool who's not playing well and they could go a gear, can you imagine if they start going up their gear? And I think that's where he realized, like, bro, I'm in trouble. And maybe in the back subconscious mind of him somewhere, he's like, are they going to add Isak to this? I think right there he froze and he's like, oh, snap. Because even I was thinking, I was like, yo, maybe this would be the best time to bring Odegaard in right now. Because at least it becomes a little bit more of a attack, right? If you attack, we will attack. Because the whole time we've been just kind of like playing chess, trying to figure each other out. 1 second. Oh, okay. Nee, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah, we hear you. Nice. So with me, I think Arteta, that moment, he realized that this season he is nowhere near where Liverpool's at. Because Liverpool, we are not, like you were saying, Wirtz was still figuring people out. The people who are balling are the players who were there last season. So Bosalai, right? Virgil, like Gravenberg, Gakpo. Mo hasn't even kicked on yet. Now we add in Isak. McAllister, he didn't play so well because the guy is still catching up on his fitness. And imagine when McAllister kicks on. So I think that he literally, Arteta froze. He saw a glimpse of what is about to happen this season, because that tactics that he did not work. And he said, if I cannot stop them from, usually teams will stop us from scoring, and it works. and it didn't work this time. So for me, I agree with Cam. He froze and he realized that for me, I said he froze and he realized because he realized that Liverpool has another gear. Cam says he just froze. I think Irishman agrees with me and said he froze. Me, what do you think?
Well, you know, he prepared his team in a particular way to set up in a particular fashion. Sit deep, make it difficult for us to create chances and score.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before the match, we had this stream where we discussed, and we knew very well that he will come and play not to lose, as opposed to trying to win. He played for literally center backs playing in the center back playing a left back and a center back playing a right back, and then 3 DMs, pretty much. And he was relying on either a magic from the 3 attackers who are literally subpar, and then also on what he calls weapon, that is a set pieces or corners. And he realized that unfortunately for us, we were getting the corners at the wrong side of Declan Rice. So he couldn't swing in an in swinger. So most of the corners were out swingers. So I realized that when they were wasting the corners, they felt frustrated, and he didn't know what to do as well, because the game was a bit cagey and more of a tactical game than an open playing game. He's been in Anfield severally, and he's lost by bigger margins in the past. So he's very much cautious as to if he wants to play an attacking football at Anfield or not. So I believe he wasn't sure the tactics to use. But the first half, I think they were marginally better than us because we were unable to play the game. We were unable to find spaces behind the midfield and in between the midfield and the defense.
That's a fact.
You know, when Ekitike was trying to, come back, draw back, and then come and involve himself in play, we realized that most of the time he was more like competing for space with Viet. So there wasn't enough space for him and Viet to operate.
Right.
Because the 2 center backs were pretty much, Ekitike was pretty much left alone with the 2 center backs. He was never engaged, like nobody got close to assisting him because Arsenal had a lot of bodies around that area. Pretty much three defensive midfielders were fielded. Declan Rice usually drives with the ball, but you realize that at Anfield, he wasn't even driving. He wasn't traveling with the ball. He was pretty much just close or nearer to, how do you call him, Zubimendi. So he wasn't even coming forward. So there wasn't enough space for them to operate in. It was only after Curtis Jones came on. And let's not also forget that McAllister wasn't fit. So he wasn't also able to help much offensively. So pretty much our attack was toothless in the first half. And usually when the game is cagey like that, we fall on Mo Salah to do some magic. And he also had a torrid, like it was a horrible showing for Mo Salah. So there was no outlets for us in the first half to begin with. But then also on Arsenal's bit, the game was there for the taking. Liverpool was there for the taking in the first half because we weren't playing too well. But they were also Arteta was also overly cautious. He doesn't want to risk a loss in favor of trying to win. He doesn't want to lose trying to win. But in the second half, Ancelot's instinct kicked in. You know, for him, if the game is cagey, whether we are away or at home, he will try to win at some point. He will not settle for a draw. He will try to win at some point. And if we end up losing the game, fair enough. And that is a hallmark of mentality of champions.
Right.
The second half, I didn't
know
what to do.
Yeah, he didn't know. Yeah.
When Curtis Jones came in, now Curtis Jones was able to now travel with the ball a bit and started making them uncomfortable. So now we started finding spaces in between their defense and the midfield. You know, Curtis Jones was now driving in between. That's what caused the free kick, even you mentioned at the end. But before then, we're on the ascendancy. We're trying to create chances. Remember, Mo Salah was trying to do something. Some shots were blocked. Some passes were... Viet was now able to find spaces to operate, to lay some passes. I think one to Gakpo, which he did not have a good shot. Another to Mo Salah, he miscontrolled. So we're actually coming into the game. And as the game continued, it was more likely that we're going to create more chances and likely score, even though we're not playing at our scintillating best, but it was more likely that we were going to score even before we had a free kick. But I mean, Arsenal fans are unable to come to terms with the fact that they think that the game would have been a draw, even if the free kick didn't go in, the game would have been a draw. My idea is that if you're actually trying to win a league, why are you backing your team that it would have been a draw? Why wouldn't you say that Arsenal would have scored? It means that throughout the fan base, they've accepted that they were not trying to win, but we were trying to win. And that's
the difference. Thank you. That's the difference, because the first half, their goal was to make it difficult for us, which they succeed, right? Which usually it happens all the time. People forget that Chelsea did the same thing to us, or should I say, we did the same thing to Chelsea last season. And everybody was like, oh, they came in, they bossed you guys. Chelsea, you scored almost a near perfect goal. Otherwise, the game would have been 2-0 or 1-0, and we would have been happy with it.
Yeah.
As soon as they score, we score back. Right? But the funny thing is, as Arsenal fans, are you guys forgetting that we did score and they call it as an offside?
Exactly.
Right? We did score and they call it as offside, which, yes, it was offside. So this thing of, oh, this game, the way it was going to 0-0 was like, that's why I tell people, if you're gonna watch the initial match, the live feed as an entertainment value, cool. But if you're gonna talk about it, make sure you watch it again and take the emotions out of it, and then watch it from the prism of the two coaches and see what Arteta is trying to do and see what Slot is trying to do. Then you have a proper analysis on how to, talk about the game. Some people are good, like Irishmen who could watch the game from jump and say, okay, I see this. Some people have to watch it 3 times before they could actually see it, or some people have to go watch the analysis and see what's going on before they can talk about it. But people come in and this game was boring. Yes, it may be boring to you, but we trying to win the league. We're not going to make it. Klopp and Pep tried that, and people say it was soft. This is not what we want. We want the Man U, Arsenal back in the day stuff. But yeah, Chelsea fans who are talking the most ish, you guys used to be the most boring team on the planet with Mourinho and won a whole bunch of leagues with it. But nobody, that one was okay. But and the Slot should go in and play Ganger pressing, which Klopp was so criticized about, that he just had one way of playing, just attack. And knowing Liverpool, when we do that, we make a lot of errors. I've always said Liverpool eliminating errors and playing their game, we will win. And we saw that. And I'm so surprised that so many people who talk about football can't even see that this was a chess match and the Liverpool manager won. Whether it was a banger of a goal or not, we were pressing them. And we were pressing them so hard that we scored a goal. And it was called back. So for
that's
me,
funny.
Yeah. So for me, this game was a game of chess, and the one who knew what to do did it right. The other one froze. People try to overlook that because of the goal. Your manager literally froze. In the second half, he looked at it and said, "Oh my God, this team has another gear to go," and he didn't know what to do. I was discussing with Irishman saying that I feel like he got scared because he said, if I open up, they will slice us up, which was something he was scared of. Hence the reason why it took him long enough to bring Odegaard and Eze, thinking that they will be way too attacking for this Liverpool team, which will fall into our hand. But what Liverpool have shown is it doesn't matter how you play. Newcastle tried to do that whole WWE style of football. What happened? Bournemouth pressed us. You saw what Bournemouth did to us. What happened? And let's look at it this way. All these 3 teams that we played against, they played 2 other games that they won, except Newcastle. And they all had clean sheets. Bournemouth, 2 games after Liverpool, clean sheet and beat Spurs at Spurs home. We gave them 4. Newcastle, you played Leeds and Aston Villa. You didn't score any goals. Arsenal, you beat Man U and you beat Leeds. You thought you were ready.
And we kept on telling them that the teams that they had played, they were not strong teams. I mean, look at Manchester United against Grimsby, struggling. It's a struggling Manchester United team.
Well,
So Arsenal,
rumors that they might have to do a rematch because a player was not.
and Arsenal were literally on the ropes in that match when they tried to open the game up, and that was against Manchester United.
Yes.
So I'm sure. And when Leeds decided to also sit back, because Leeds even had been shown that in the championship last season, they were the worst teams when it came to set pieces. Arsenal had stronger, goal returns when it comes to, or chance creation when it comes to set pieces. So it was almost inevitable that Arsenal were going to beat Leeds, especially when it comes to the set pieces bits, because Leeds were very poor even in the championship, they were very poor. One of the poorest teams when it came to set pieces. They couldn't defend set pieces even in the championship. So it was inevitable that they would beat Leeds. But the fact that you beat Leeds 5-0 does not mean that when you had played United and struggled, does not mean that automatically you are coming to Anfield to beat Liverpool. They had a lot of chest when they before the game was played. They had a lot of chest just because they beat Leeds by 5 goals. And now the whole narrative is that, it's like someone going into a fight and say, I'll beat you, I'll beat you. He goes into the fight and then he loses the fight. Say, but you didn't knock me out. I mean, who cares? Who cares whether it wasn't an open game of whatever, flakes, tricks, top being goals, and who cares? You lost the match. Just accept that you lost the match and then get back to the drawing board. Now you are blaming Arteta. And the funny bit is that they are doing things contradictory. You are saying that, okay, we did not play that bad, just that Liverpool just scored through a wonder goal. And at the same time, you are saying, Arteta should have played more attacking midfielders instead of bring. So which is which? Is it that you did not play bad and you took a wonder goal to break the duck, or Arteta should have played more attacking and made the game an open game? They are just confused and they don't know what to do.
Well, this
I
is.
said it.
Go ahead, please. Sorry,
I said it before that Arteta is not a manager who is willing to risk it to win. And they may be able to still win the league if something bad happens to Liverpool. They still may be able to win the league, but it's not because Arteta is this genius that they are making him out to be.
Irishman, you want to say something before we move on to the next topic?
I have an issue with over promotion in English football. I always have. I think I thought it was just from day one, utterly insane that a man who had never managed any level of football club before, was given the Arsenal job. I just couldn't understand how a man with zero manager, like a guy like that, getting a Premier League job is kind of eyebrow raising. Oh, he used to be a coach for Pep Guardiola at Man City, so that qualifies you to be handed one of the biggest clubs in world football and nearly £1 billion. Complete madness. I mean, we have to bear in mind, money will always be the main motivating factor for a player when it comes to joining a team. If someone offers him 100 grand a week extra, they're probably going to go. But if they're in a position of being able to pick and being happy with the wages, from what player in world football do you think has ever stood in front of a microphone and said, "I've always wanted to play for Mikel Arteta"? No, it's never happened. There's people. I've always wanted to play for Pep Guardiola. Always wanted to play for Ancelotti. Always wanted to play for Jurgen Klopp. Always wanted to play for Mourinho. What footballer out there now is going, wow, Arteta, I really, really want to get coached by that guy. He has nothing. He has no cachet in the business. And I just think it's just bizarre to me that some of the coaches that are out there, some of the managers that are out there, and a guy like this built off the back of working at Man City and being an ex-Arsenal player, got this job and this much backing. And, to me, it's just what you call nepotism or whatever, football and nepotism. And what's he done to prove it? Can you imagine what they'd be saying about Liverpool fans or Liverpool Football Club if Steven Gerrard came in and did what Arteta has done? Won nothing.
Before you come in,
won an FA Cup with Jurgen Klopp's team. Brought in, took his first and got one of Jurgen team with a couple of the Jurgen Klopp team. Totally rebuilt it. Never won anything since. Spent nearly 800 million.
Yeah.
What would they be saying about us? That we're living in dreamland?
Yeah.
But Arteta, no. He needs time. He needs time. He's had in
Yeah.
managerial lifespans in Premier League, he's had 100 years. The
Real
average
quick,
manager in the Premier League lasts
real quick.
they're lucky 3 years.
Sorry about that. Sorry, JSauce. I don't have you on my on my subscribers on X. If you could send me a message, I can send you a link because we need to talk.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
Yeah, Nini has been waiting for you for a while. So JSauce, send me a message on Twitter so that I can send you the link. Okay, we got a few more minutes before we get out of here. Oh, sorry about that, Irishman. I apologize.
No, go ahead. No, I was finishing. It's just I made the point.
Now, let's talk about the aftermath of the transfer window. We got our man, and I want us to discuss. We didn't get Gehi, but I think we will get Gehi. I think January, he's gone. Parrish right now, if you go on Twitter, the amount of scrutiny he's getting is ridiculous. Funny tweets and memes that they're making him right now. But I think we will get Gehi in January. And I think it's good because then Liverpool can add to January because of the amount of tournament games and players we would need. Right now we have only we have 4 center backs, but will they be there? And, Joey, they didn't let Joey go for a reason, and he was not going to leave. But we got our man. Isak is in the building. I say Isak. Isak is in the building. If you look at videos of him in training with a Swedish compatriot, the man has a smile on his face like, finally, I feel relief. And watching his videos, man, I brought up a statement he'd said. They asked him, what are you expecting in your length of your contract? And he said, I want to win everything. And it wasn't the way he said it, like, how people say, oh, I want to win everything, and then, have the chuckle. No, this guy is looking at it straight down in the camera. The only person I've seen doing something like that was Stephen G, where I remember there's a long time ago, I think it was on BBC, and they asked him, if the game is on the line and somebody has to kick the final penalty kick to win the game, who's taking it? And he said, me, without blinking. Like, look dead in the person's face and say, me. And I was like, that's my captain. And that's what I saw in Isak. Isak was like, I want to win. He didn't fluffy coming here. I'm here to make friends. I'm very happy to be here. And that whole generic statement that they always write for them. They asked him, and he said, I want to win everything. And to me, this guy is coming in as a stone cold killer. And I'm sorry, certain people are not going to be buddy with him, but he's there for a mission. And that's what we need. And that's what the manager, I think, is looking for. Right? I think Pops, thank you for being here. Even Pops, after the game against Arsenal, was like, it's good to see that now the players are having the confidence of not always deferring to Mo Salah. Right? Like during the last minute of the Arsenal match, Chiesa had a couple of chances where Salah was wide open and he's like, nah, I'm going to go for it. And to me, that is a positive thing because you cannot always rely on him. Salah has done way too much. It's time for somebody else to step up. And for us to bring Isak, I think that is the step up, the message that the manager and the club is sending to the rest of the players. Y'all better step up because this man, them 125 million, eventually he's going to get his foot back. His footing back. He's not going to be sitting on the bench. So Ekitike, what are you going to do? Gakpo, what are you going to do? Chiesa, even Mo Salah, what are you going to do? The transition of Liverpool is in full effect. Yeah. What do you guys think?
I think oftentimes Liverpool fans sometimes we behave like spoiled rich kids. In that when the transfer window, started or opened, most of us were not even aware that we're interested in Gay to begin with. There had been tiny rumors here and there, but we weren't actually, it wasn't a full force that we wanted Gay when the transfer window actually opened at first. So it was towards the latter end that it became apparent that we were actually interested in him. I mean, talks had gone on. I mean, behind the scenes. So if we end up not getting him, he wasn't someone we're even targeting in the first place when the transfer window opened. But those we actually targeted, those we knew that we were targeting, we got all those guys in there. And just to shade us now a bit, they try to pride themselves in the fact that they had Zubimendi. The funny bit is that Zubimendi regretted instantly, immediately he chose not to join Liverpool last year because, and you know, right after that transfer saga, when the first press conference of Arne Slot before the season began, they asked him and said, "No, we are not going back for him." And he was straightforward. And the only reason you are getting him is because they decided not to go back for him.
But they won't tell you that.
Yes, and we have a actually brilliant CDM who is not even a DM, who is not even a DM, and a bit on the match before even I came, we were playing with traditionally only two defensive players, VVD, Konate. That was it. Left back is an attacking left back. We have a right back who is even an offensive midfielder, attacking midfielder, playing right back.
Number 10.
All our midfielders are actually not defensive midfielders. McAllister is not a defensive midfielder. Gravenberch is not a defensive midfielder. So look at the team that we paraded. We are showing intent. We are showing intent that we want to win this at all costs. Now, back to Isak. I like the fact that he did not come dancing around anything. I mean, the journey has been long. It's been frustrating. It's been draining for him. This is not a time to come and be dancing around the topic and whatnot. Straight to the point. I want to win trophies. I mean, the history, Liverpool, its history shows that trophies is something that is needed here. I'm in to win trophies and nothing else. And it is that simple. Crystal Palace decided to, mess with their captain, which is on them. At the end of the day, no coach is bigger than the team. No player is bigger than the team. If you decide to please your coach at the expense of the team, I bet you, if the Oliver Glasner gets a better deal that he cannot resist in January, he will leave. And what have you done? The team has lost 35 million pounds for nothing. They are banking their hopes that they may be able to win something. How many times, does a team like Crystal Palace win season after season? What they won this past season is an anomaly. So don't bank your hopes that when you retain this guy, you are going to win the Conference League and then you are going to win another FA Cup or something. It is not a given. So you do what is best for the team in the now. Some people are saying that Steve Parish has allowed the manager to bully him. I don't agree with some people most of the time, but I believe that in this particular instance, they did not do what is best for the team. And in everything, the team comes first. Look at the Isak saga. Newcastle should have been able to put the team's interest above everybody's interest, above people's egos, above whatever. Standing strong, being strong. Like, what do you stand to gain? Now you have 150 racks in the bag. You can do whatever you want with the money. What is the point in keeping an unhappy player who has made a point time and time again that he wanted to leave? You have delayed the transfer window for nothing. Now the player that you yourself you got to has not even trained enough, has not had preseason with your team and whatever. At the end of the day, who loses? Newcastle, because Liverpool is flourishing without even Isak. So then you ask yourself, was these delays, were they all necessary? Was it necessary? Now you allowed Gay also to go to Liverpool, have a medical in London, to have a medical for Liverpool. He did his video, his send-off video, and then now you record this player back. Is this guy going to be happy playing for you? I've heard some Crystal Palace fans, they want to just tickle themselves and laugh. So they keep on saying that, oh, the guy is happy to stay. There's a difference between I'm not going to kick up a fuss and I am happy to stay. The fact that he's staying does not mean that he is happy to stay. The guy said he wanted to go. So he is not happy to stay. He's a club captain, so he doesn't want to set bad example. So he will stay, but it does not mean that he's a happy player. That is what we should understand. But with Isak, I am glad. All our talent, our targets I wanted to get, we have them in the door. So for me, I am so happy. And Magay will be a bonus in January. Come January, will be a bonus.
Yeah, no, I agree. Irishman, so with the Isak thing, what are you looking at from listening to his interview and like excited that he looks.
He's a man who knows it's a short career. He's a man who knows he's not 22.
Mm-hmm.
He's 26.
Mm-hmm.
He's never won anything apart from a League Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And he's joined a club who no guarantee of winning anything at any club. But the club that's probably going to give him the best chance to add in the next, say, 5 years of his career.
Mm-hmm.
3 major trophies, 2 leagues and a Champions League, 4 if we're lucky. If we get in the next 5 years, if we win 2 leagues and 2 Champions League, I think we'll all be pretty happy.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows that, yeah, his, like I said before, his trophy cabinet is empty for a player of his capabilities. So I think he knows that it's time to get on with business. He's not 22 now. He's not that saucy lad. The future is mine, the sky's the limit kind of thing. He needs to be winning for him. He needs to be winning trophies now.
Mm-hmm.
He's at a club that is capable of winning trophies now, and he's a player that can improve us. So it all fits together. Like I keep saying, everyone out there is telling him he's one of the best strikers in the world, but he doesn't play at a club that was commensurate with that until he joined Liverpool, and he doesn't have the trophy haul to back that up. So yeah, he knows. I'm not at all surprised that he's going to be very driven. Yeah, like Nee said, not dancing around, not happy to be here. No disrespect to any other players like that, but he's here ready to do business right now, ready to win trophies this season, ready to contribute. And like I say, it's a short career. He's got maybe 5 years left at the top, 6. And he's going to want to be involved in those trophy parades, those bus parades. So best place for him to do it right now is here. And he's probably the best player we could have bought this summer. I think he's better than Florian Wirtz right now. Florian Wirtz is going to take some time. It's one of the most perfect transfers ever, really. I think, taking this team is already kind of stupid, but to add him to it was almost
Irish Red. Just to cut you off, the sentence why you are saying this team is already. Think back. When did you ever think, beside the 80s and the sometime in the 90s? But at what point did you saying that and thinking, be like, wow, my club really right now is the Galacticos of the modern era?
I was probably like 9 or 10. I don't even remember those teams. Like, I know about them, I read about them. They were like, I live in Ireland. They didn't show football on TV over here. There was no Sky Sports.
Yeah,
you heard about those teams. You read about them. You saw a match of the day every now and again if you're allowed to stay up late enough. That kind of 88, 89 really is when I really kind of start remembering us. That was a really strong kind of team.
Yeah.
Ever since then, we've never been. That's why I said, like, from day one, I said we're not buying Rodrigo. I can't see it because Rodrigo is not a Liverpool signing. That's a kind of a Real Madrid Galactico type of sign. I couldn't see Rodrigo coming here. It just didn't fit. Whereas, like, we spent Galactico money on an Isak, but Isak isn't a Beckham or a Ronaldo. He's or a Kaká or a Zidane. He's still got that kind of understatedness about him. Yeah, he's not the superstar with all the noise, and Neymar or anything like that. He's just he fits us perfectly, humble, down to earth, coming from a smaller club, and but also knows he's one of the best in the world, and he's at one of the best clubs right now, surrounded by some of the other best players in the world.
No, I mean, you're right. The thing is, for me, is like, thank you, Nee. Is Nee gone? Is still here, Nee?
He's still there on screen.
He's still there on screen, I think. All right, good.
Okay.
I didn't want to, remove you while you were still here. But yeah, man, you are right, man. At this point, Liverpool, I'm this season, I'm just gonna sit back, kick my feet, and just have patience with the with the team, because let's be honest, this is a brand new team. We literally brought in 8 new players. If it was any other club, everybody would be like, oh, it will take time. So yes, I want us to win everything. But at the same time, I'm still going to have a sense of patience for them, because just like you're saying, Vert has to still figure out everybody's runs, right? Isak, I don't think is going to take that long. He just needs somebody to feed him. And we've been waiting what it will look like between Salah and Isak. And finally, this is why Liverpool, for the people who didn't understand why Liverpool did not want to give up. One, Liverpool were working with some incompetent oppositions that didn't know what they were doing. So they dragged this thing on till the last day. But I think Liverpool was tired of the what ifs, you know. Do you remember when Torres left and then Suarez came in, and then from day one, when Suarez started playing, everybody was like, wow, what if he and Torres was on the same team? And then the only time we see that is during a Legends game, where we see Steven G, Torres, and Suarez. You know, those days, I think, have plagued Liverpool fans and Liverpool as a club for so long. I think Michael Edwards this time said, no, whatever it takes, we're going to make sure we put the best players together. Can you imagine the what ifs? What if Isak play with Virgil? What if Isak play with Salah, play with Alisson? You know? And Monts, who usually I'm not a bigger fan of his opinions, one thing that I agree with him, and he referenced the Star Wars, people who watch Star Wars, the 3rd episode, the movie, when Obi-Wan told Anakin, you was the chosen one. You were supposed to free them from the darkness, not take them to the darkness. And he referenced it by saying, this team was built for Trent. And I was thinking, I'm like, okay, Mons, I don't agree with you a lot, because I think you sometimes you be waffling just playing for the peanut gallery and just do banter. But this one makes sense. With the squad that we have right now, not saying that I'm not happy with Frimpong. I think even Trent has stayed, we'll still got Frimpong. But can you imagine Trent with giving those passes to Isak and Ekitike and Verts? And now, you see what I mean? I'm just saying, this is the things that have plagued Liverpool fans for so long. And finally, and this year, if we had added Gehi on top of it, it would have been the perfect transfer window ever. Even now, we have the best transfer window ever. But adding Gehi with one more player to spare, because we still have 2 spaces, right, for January. We have a center back and attacker open. But if we was able to bring Gehi in, it would have been the perfect transfer window of all time per any club. I don't care how much money Chelsea have spent. So I'm like, kudos. That's why I was stuck with the whole thing, said Isak was coming. Because I know Edwards was like, man, all these players that I wanted to bring to Liverpool did not work. This time, I'm going to get all of them. And guess what? This is a man who was Thanos. He assembled the Infinity Stones, man.
Well, I mean, that's on Trent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trent didn't want to be here. Trent's gone. I don't really know the whole Star Wars thing, but he's gone. I suppose. We can't really play that game what if Trent was in this team? I'm happier. When he was at his peak, I had this weird kind of thing where I'd say, I would love to see what would happen if he could kind of almost like, when people run Football Manager simulators, we were becoming so heavily reliant and dependent on Trent. And I just said, I would love to see what would happen to this Liverpool team if Trent was just out for a year. Not injured, I know, just he took a sabbatical, right? He went away for a year. I would love to see what this team, because it was just becoming all about Trent. Like every single night, people arguing about whether Trent should play inverted in midfield or not. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of getting sick of this guy becoming the whole story about this team. It's there's a lot more to this team than just Trent. So I think we were becoming over-reliant on him in too many ways. That might have been something he was feeling when he left, that they need to move on from me a little bit. So I was kind of happy for him to, as mad as it might sound. I just thought it was a weird kind of over-reliance on him. And yeah, especially at that peak time about him wanting to play inverted, that was unbearable for a while, because to me, you could just see he can't play in midfield. To me, it was obvious right from the start the guy can't play in midfield. But it was just constant Trent this, what about Trent? Trent this, Trent that. And for me, great long passer, great passer over medium distance, great crosser of the ball, but he's not a midfielder and he's not world class right back. But he's a special player at the same time. So yeah, I was just happy for him to go and do something else, because you bring in two normal right backs, orthodox right backs, whatever you want to call them, let them do their job and build your team that way. Yeah, he's gone. So that's it. I think the other thing that you were mentioning, I forgot what you were mentioning, but with Isak, someone's always going to lose out. I think when he comes in, I think the Michael Edwards thing, you're talking about him, bringing him in. I mean, we have to talk about it. The transfer acquisitions, the talent acquisition, the choices that were being made at this club after Jurgen Klopp was given more power when it came to transfers is clearly obvious now what went wrong. And they were making bad decisions, buying bad players. And they've all most of it blew up in our faces or haven't been used since.
Yeah.
And that's a bit harsh, I understand. But
that was the truth.
Hughes have come in. They've changed now. And I don't care if Klopp left because Edwards was coming back. I don't think he did. That's the thing that gets pushed. Oh, Klopp only left because Edwards was coming back.
I don't believe that.
I know, but Klopp had too much power. Hughes and Edwards were going to start taking over transfers, and Klopp didn't like that. But since they've come back, look at what's happened.
1 year.
It's
1 year.
To me, it had to happen. If you can't see what was going wrong with Pep Linders at our club, being tasked with giving basically most of the training and tactics, look at what's happening
in City.
Look at what's happening in the City. Pep Linders was an absolute disaster at this club. Jurgen Klopp and Jörg Schmacke having control over transfers was an absolute disaster. As far as I'm concerned, I don't really give it too much of a damn what anybody else says. To me, you could see it from day one. Klopp shouldn't be really have that much power. Edwards and Hughes, that's the way I want this club run.
Yeah,
I want this club run with people like that in charge, not with managers making those kind of decisions.
I mean,
that's the thing. It's the other way around. Yeah, Edwards came back because he knew Klopp was leaving. That's much more. Edwards came back because he was told he'd be given worldwide multi-club ownership, group control. He's working for FSG, not LFC.
Yes.
And Hughes is coming in. So I just much prefer, this is the way clubs need to operate these days, where you have a coach that doesn't want really too much to do with having to identify players, just sitting down about a short list. We've worked out who we can get, and you want the best recruitment. You want the best director of football out there getting you these players and recruiting them for you, and then basically giving them to you. Like, no player that we buy is Arne Slot going to turn around, read and go, what have we got him for? It'll all be right. It'll all be good for till it's not. But this is the way I want the club run. We finished 5th and 3rd in Klopp's final 2 seasons. 5th and 3rd. That's where we were. That's where we were. And then then Slot came and win the league. First season, Edwards and Hughes are back. I'm sorry, but Klopp needed to go. His time was done. His race was run.
Yeah.
Linders needed to go. Klopp had clearly checked out mentally. So
yeah. Pops, this is the power people don't get. Edwards is the boss. The only person above him is the president of, I don't even think the president of LFC is above him. I think he works in, if you look at the chain of command, they are working tangent. The person the FSG listen to when it comes to football operations, which that's his Edwards department, is him. The president is just the overall in terms of businesses and outside things, but on-field things, Pops, I'm sorry, It's Edwards. Edwards is the Don Dada. That's why he requested for that position, because he didn't want nobody challenging him. The previous time when he was there, he could be challenged because, let's be honest, Klopp was that good. And we can criticize FSG for making the decision they made at the time, because a lot of us would have probably made the same thing. I mean, let's be honest, the manager has won everything that we wanted. So if the manager kind of want whatever they want, you choose between Edwards and the manager, and FSG chose the manager. Edward is the boss. Like, if any other football club is purchased by LFC or FSG, Edwards will be in charge of that. So now they have a structure now. They have a structure. That's why, if you guys know, Slot is not the manager anymore. They didn't give him a manager position. They gave him a head coach. So that means the head coach is under the director of football. The director of football is under Edwards. That's the new position. That's the new structure they set up. Now, the question is, will Klopp accept that structure that FSG decided to go with? Maybe not. Right? We don't know, but we speculating. Maybe not. But honestly, I think Klopp left at the right time, because we're looking at his competitor on the other side of the blue side of Manchester, and things are not working as well. But we have to stop saying that Klopp won with his players. The players that Klopp won with wasn't his players. That's Edwards' players. Remember, the focal story is he didn't even want Salah. He wanted somebody else. Mane, he didn't want Mane. He wanted somebody else. I'm not saying he didn't want him, but his preference was not Mane or Salah or certain players that was at the club. They were different players. Edwards is the one who told him the data says this. So a lot of times people try to circumvent the story and make it seem like this is what it is. And the rival fans hear this nice story and then they go with it. Remember, before Klopp came in there, Liverpool also had a structure. There was Mike Gordon. There was a few other directors there. Klopp was the final puzzle, which was somebody that Edwards told the owners, we need to go get this guy. Whether he's taking a break or not, we need to go get him. That's why they fired Rodgers. But this time around, the new structures, yes, Klopp wanted Mane when he was at Dortmund, but when he came to Liverpool, Mane was not his first choice. Am I wrong with that, Irishman?
No, I think you are slightly mistaken. He was always a big Mane fan.
Yeah, and he said he wanted him when he was at Dortmund.
Oh, but whether he wanted him in that Liverpool role, no, the famous one is that he wanted Julian Brandt.
And he wanted Gota too.
Yeah,
I'm not doing any revisionary story. There's no revisionary story here. Sorry, Irishman. There's no revisionary story here. Trust me, I have followed Mane. I've followed Klopp all his life. I've read his book. Gota was his first choice. The reason why they didn't go for Gota because it came out that he had that medical condition. That's why he's there. That was the only player that I'd known Klopp was going back for. Klopp has never gone back for a player. He's never gone back to any of his players. He could have gotten Robert Lewandowski if he wanted to. He said no. He wanted to rebuild. Gota was one of his first choice before Mane. But then it came out that he had a medical issue. So Mane, they went after Mane. The famous story is the Brandt one with Salah. So people, there's no revision story here. People need to listen. Edwards was the one who was getting people. Remember, Edwards was the one who brought in Coutinho and Sturridge. And yes, he brought some players who didn't work either. We're not going to talk about it. But people need to stop thinking that some of us, we just regurgitate the stories that is out there. We all studied it. There's a players that he wanted that he couldn't get. Yes, Gota was a good player. He hurt Klopp when Bayern took him away from him. Now, I'm not going to lie. Gota was a bad boy. But at the time, I'm sorry, Mane became the better option. But we have to stop and say, oh, this and that. Liverpool had a structure. And just like Irishman is saying, when the structure came back and we set it up, everybody having their job to do instead of putting everything on Klopp, we win the league. Am I wrong?
No, I just wanted to quickly, just to what Pop said earlier, about how if Edwards has a global position, so it wouldn't matter if Klopp is here. It's like, yeah, but like it's head of global, it's head of football, it's head of global football. So he's head of he's the main man. He's in charge over all the football clubs. So he absolutely would have been like Klopp would have been. Edwards would have been Klopp's boss, even though he wouldn't be his director of football or CEO or at Anfield, but he would have been his boss. So yeah, he definitely would have been over. Hey, we're just talking. Yeah, Klopp's gone. Let's move on. I mean, but Pops, when did it become illegal to talk about things like in the past? It's just
I don't get why people always don't want to talk. Like we bro, we were all there. We experienced it. Klopp made a lot of mistakes, but the job that Klopp did can never be rivaled. For me, I'm sorry. I love Benitez, but I think Klopp is over Benitez for me. What do you think?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, Rafa's a very special guy, really special.
Yeah.
On Merseyside. But you just can't really get over that kind of Klopp personality, the way he gelled with the City. That he was just a bit. Benitez is very quiet, very reserved, kind of guy. Wasn't obviously very the polar opposite of a Klopp kind of character, but just as loved. His family never left. His wife still lives here. They run foundations and charities in Liverpool. Their whole life is based in Liverpool. It's crazy. But Rafa's absolutely adored and loved. Nearly won us the league in 2009, wasn't it, when we finished behind Manchester United? But yeah, Klopp is an altogether different kind of character, really, and he really did fit with the City. That kind of slightly. I mean, I know he was playing a lot of it. I think that a bit of a character playing up to the cameras, but the kind of guy that you would go and have a pint with.
Yeah.
Definitely the kind of guy that you would go and have a couple of beers with. If you could have a couple of beers with Klopp or Guardiola, most football fans would go with Klopp because he just knows it's going to be a better night out. He's more a fun guy, people person, down to earth and all that. And he really tapped into that, and the Liverpool fans responded to it. So, Dustin,
are you an LFC fan or are you a Klopp fan? Because the way you love Klopp, it's kind of making me concerned, man. We all love Klopp, but just like Pops is saying, the job that Benitez did was crazy. All right. If Klopp had come in during the Gillette and Hicks time, he would have not lasted 6 months because Klopp would not have done a deal with that foolishness. He would have left. As a matter of fact, he didn't show up. Rafa had to endure some tough. And if Rafa had the chance to work with FSG, oh my God!
And he would have worked. He would have worked because coming from Spain, he would have been happy.
Oh my God!
Enough to work with a kind of a structure in place,
man.
And like you pointed out, man, there are very, very. I think there's one, maybe two, in the Premier League right now that people we still call them managers. We refer to them as managers.
Yeah.
But they're whose actual job title, they're at the club is not manager, it's head coach. I think there's only one or two maybe that might be still technically a manager is their job title. It's all head coaches now.
Arteta and Pep Guardiola, I think.
Maybe, but it's head coach. If you look at their contract, they're contracted to be head coach, not manager. That is completely dying out. But Benitez, I think, was incredibly unlucky because
he's always been unlucky everywhere he goes, man.
Bad owners. He got no time at Madrid. He fell out with the owner at Madrid.
The players didn't want it. I think it was. It had to do with the players.
Casemiro, he wanted to play Casemiro, and the manager wanted him to play someone else. I can't remember who it was, like a more attacking player. And he fell out with the owner because he wanted to play Casemiro. And the next manager came in. I can't remember who replaced Rafa.
Yeah.
Zidane, I think.
Yeah, Zidane came right after Rafa.
Zidane, and the first thing he did started playing Casemiro.
Yeah.
And Casemiro turned into one of the best defensive midfielders in the world.
Yep.
And he was getting all the plaudits, blah blah blah. And that's all Rafa. Like Rafa has no luck, man. Just no luck with owners.
Yeah. Rafa, because he went to Chelsea, he won the trophy with Chelsea, tried to help Everton. He's probably the only Liverpool associate that will go to Everton, and Liverpool fans will be like, yeah, it's just a job.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. He went to the only guy that could go to Everton and Chelsea.
Everton, and everybody like, yeah, it's just a job. I don't care. We still love him. Yeah, Benitez, I'm sorry. And even Newcastle, he was loyal to Newcastle. Even when they got relegated, he stayed with them. And the new owners came late. They tried to they wanted to keep him. And even the lady, the lady who brokered the deal for the sale of Newcastle, she loved him. Yeah, they were hoping that he stays, but at the time, it didn't make sense. And
Rafa, he was dealing with Mike Ashley there.
Yeah, Mike Ashley. But talking about Mike Ashley real quick, Mike Ashley knows the deal. He would have sold Isak long time ago.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that. Mike Ashley would have never let this thing drag on. He would have taken the money and used it, the little bit of it. He would take the 125 and give 25 back to Eddie Howe and take the pocket the 100. But that's here or there. Rafa, it was just bad owners, man. Because remember, the team that he won the Champions League with had no business being there. Right? And he started building. When they decided to give him a little bit of money, he was building something. Remember, he challenged Manchester United. And he almost won the league, but we draw too many games. He lost one game that season. Something that Klopp is the only. Yeah, Klopp was the only one who had done.
2 points behind United, 2009.
The only person who have done that was Klopp. And this is the part where I agree with Pops. We have been fortunate with some legendary managers, man. Not so much with a few. We have some bad ones. We're not going to be lying. We have some really bad ones, but Pop said he would have taken 80 million. We would have had Isak long time before, man. No, but Pop is right. We have some legendary managers, man. And look at how, not saying Edwards and Hughes are this amazing, but Slot, looking at, and I heard a commentator saying right now, Slot is the best manager in the Premier League. Do you agree with that?
Well, he's the champion, so until someone takes that crown off him, I don't know if he's the outright best coach.
Yeah.
You got to take into account the players that people have as well. What if Iraola had gotten this job? What would he have done with the Liverpool job?
Yeah.
If Glasner, well, not so much Glasner, but he's just a perfect coach for Liverpool right now. The most important thing for someone that replaced Jurgen Klopp was to not even try and be Jurgen Klopp in any way, not be outwardly different, but be your own man. Winning a league title in your first season after making no transfers gives you a lot of credit in the bank. You can see the confidence. There's nothing wrong with that. If he increases in confidence because of what he's done and gets better at what he's doing because he's increased in confidence, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't say he's becoming arrogant or anything like that. All coaches are set in their ways, arrogant to a degree, because that's their belief in what they do being right is what gets them to the top.
Right.
If Arne Slot did what half the Liverpool fans want him to do on Wednesday and did what the other half wanted him to do on a Thursday, he'd be playing two completely different types of football.
He'll be fired.
So just, the strength of character to say, I realize there's 5 million people on the internet that know exactly what I should be doing tomorrow.
Right.
But I'm the one in charge here. I'm coaching these guys. It's my job. I have to have that strength of character to go, I get that you think I should play Chiesa or Gomez or I should do this or do that, but I ain't going to do it because listening to other people's ideas of what he should do probably isn't what got him to this place and to this job in the first place.
Right.
It was backing himself. And I like his ability to change things up. I like his ability to lose someone like Johnny Heitinga, bring in someone like Van Bronckhorst, and utilize his ideas and help help him change the way we're playing. He's able to work. Like, I think the fact that he can change tactics quite quickly in a game. He's able to change.
The work.
He doesn't mind.
Yeah.
Van Bronckhorst, if we win a league and Van Bronckhorst starts getting credit for his coaching, he's going to start getting jobs. He's going to start getting offered big jobs, and he might have to leave. So Slot has showed, okay, Van Bronckhorst is gone. There's another guy out there, great Dutch coach. I want to bring him in. He's able to work. He's able to change. He's able to keep moving on the fly, and I like that about him. He's still a young coach, fresh ideas.
Yeah.
And I mean, but also he probably 2-3 years ago, he's a young coach in Holland, kind of doing his thing. Hopefully, maybe thinking I might get a decent job. To think that in 2 years later, he's managing the Champions of England and having players like Wirtz and Isak handed to him on a plate.
Yeah.
Incredible.
This guy, Dustin, you're talking about Rafa had a bad season, so did Klopp. What are we talking here, man? No manager had a great season. Did you see what Pep did last year? He got lucky. I won't say he got lucky, but what's his name? Forest and Aston Villa falling off towards the end of the season, got seeded into the Champions League. But yeah, man, the thing is, Liverpool, this is what our fan base, we need to focus on LFC, not Player FC or Manager FC. Everybody who has come to Liverpool is appreciated. That's why I like what Salah said. No disrespect will come to current or former players that he's played with. And we need to put that in our head. It's okay to criticize people based on something that didn't work because it was a mistake. But when somebody do that, doesn't mean, oh my God, why are we talking about Klopp? Klopp didn't do everything perfect. And if you could, Dustin, if you could sit here and tell me Klopp did everything perfect, then I will have to have my team write me an apology letter so I can read it to everybody. But if he didn't do everything perfect, that means there was something that he did wrong, then we are allowed to talk about it. Bejan says Pep had 4 in a row last season was a small blip. Hey, that's what we are all here to see. If last season was a blip, I mean, let's be honest, his first season at the EPL was not as nice either. He came in 3rd, and then he took off after that when he started spending some cash. So,
yeah, Quasi,
yes, sir.
Is there anybody out there that can tell me that this current iteration of this Man City team looks anything like that team?
Nope.
There's something gone there, man. I don't know what you want to call it. You want to call it energy, aura, whatever it is. There's something in Man City that's...
But, Irishman, let's look at just on the talent level. I don't want to start talking about Pep doesn't have the love and feeling anymore. That's too emotional. You can't quantify that, right? He said, no one is saying Klopp was perfect. You are reading this. No. So if he's not perfect, that means he did something wrong. So whatever he's doing wrong, if I bring it up, no one should say that we are over criticizing. That's all I'm saying. But when it comes to Pep, the players that he had, those are something we can quantify. Where are you going to find another Yaya Toure? Where are you going to find is it David Silva?
Kevin De Bruyne.
Aguero. I mean, this guy had literally the Avenger, not the
Fernandinho.
Oh my God.
Rodri is their Fernandinho right now. He to me is symptomatic. It's a guy who was the best in the world not that long ago. But right now, won a Ballon d'Or. But right now, it's like, okay, he doesn't look like that player anymore. He's 30 now. Pep doesn't look like that manager anymore. He's been here for 10, 8 years now. you know. Yeah, I know. We know. Yeah, he won 400, but I'm just saying, like, their top team. Does this look like, that it doesn't even look like that the De Bruyne Haaland side? They don't. To me, they've lost a little bit of their aura. They've lost that little bit of, oh well, it's City. Of course, they're going to win 2 or 3-0 kind of thing. That's just not the feeling. It's the intangibles around City, and you can't tell me that Cherokee and Reinders and Knight Nuri that are as good as they might be is a peak City team with De Bruyne and Mahrez or Haaland or whatever when you want to pick from. That to me just doesn't. They don't scare me. They don't look like that invincible Death Star with all the best players in England kind of thing, or most of them, or a lot of them, or whatever you want to put it. Yeah. To me, it's just, it doesn't feel like that anymore with City.
But there's the thing, though. Pops was saying he won 4 in a row without Yaya and Silva. But at that time, Yaya and Silva have taken them to such a height that they were so invisible that it didn't matter, right? They still have KDB, even though he was injured ever so often. They have Mahrez. Sterling was very good at that time. Aguero was there. You cannot tell me. I mean, Sane, for some people, Sane is still a player that they would love to see at Liverpool. I'm sorry, but Pep has managed some great talent, and it's testament to his skill, right? It's testament to the manager's skill. Yeah, man, right now, the players that he has don't match up to those players that we just mentioned. KDB replacement was supposed to be who? Wirtz. He's at Liverpool. Right? I mean, I heard they went after Keckers. I mean, there's some players, even at one point, they went after Virgil. Right? Their goalkeeper, they don't have the Edison anymore who can play from the back. So there's a lot of things that have changed in terms of energy that we can quantify, so we can tell. We just speculate in terms of the energy, right? But the talent is not there anymore. And people were like, oh, they're just going to come back. If you watch that Brighton game, it's literally a carbon copy of what Liverpool did to Arsenal. That's all I'm saying. I mean, Irish Red, did you watch that game?
The Brighton versus
City, yeah.
No.
Bro, City first half outplayed them. Like passes, movement. Brighton was just running and running. Second half, the manager made quadruple substitution. I've never seen that since preseason. I've never seen a quadruple substitution in an official match anywhere in football. And what he did was he brought energy in midfield. Because at the beginning, Baliba was kind of struggling a little bit because he had to deal with a couple of very good players in the midfield, right? Rodri and what's the other guy? Redness, or whatever his name is. But then when he brought them boys from the bench, oh my God. Like you could see it just switch just like that. And a lot of people said the same thing when they played Wolves and said, no, City doesn't look good because if Wolves have taken their chances, we would have been talking about something different. You know what I mean? Exactly, Pops. That's what I'm saying. The talent that City has is good. Yes, it could win a championship, but it's not the same anymore. People have to realize clubs don't fear big clubs like they used to back in the day. It has to do with PSR. It has to do with FFP because all these clubs could also buy big players. I mean, City lost to Crystal Palace in the final. Crystal Palace came and beat Liverpool in the final in the Community Shield. Grimsby beat Manchester United. I couldn't help it. I had to throw it there. I had to throw it there. I had to say that. You know what I mean? So I think the EPL is as competitive as it has ever been. But I'm saying, man, Pep, I can't quantify the feelings. Does he still have the energy? that I could only speculate. But in terms of talent, he doesn't have those talent like he used to. I mean, Ikanji said he left because there's like 6 center backs in the club. Right? I mean, Donnarumma, great shot stopper, but is he as good on his feet as Edison?
It's an interesting change of tack.
You see what I'm saying? And then they have the right back. Kyle Walker was a cheat code for everybody. They don't have that anymore. That's what I'm saying. So Irishman and I can speculate about, oh, does he have the feeling? Does he have the energy? Blah, blah, blah. But that's just speculation because we can't see it, right? But the question is, the one that we can see is, does he have the talent like the previous years? Because even Bernardo Silva it seems like he doesn't even have the legs anymore, right? Foden. Everybody said this year Foden is going to step up. He's coming off the bench. Mamouche, last season, Mamouche showed us that he may be the baller that everybody say he is. Mamouche, Turkey injured, and they say he's gone for a long time. 2 months, I believe. So in that terms, when you see that, do you think they are a factor? Because Chelsea, for me, is the one that I'm looking at. If they turn it around, they will be a problem. Spurs will just be a dark horse for everybody. They can beat anybody at any time. Arsenal, of course, is our direct rival. Yeah, Mamouche is quality, but he hasn't been quality in the last couple of games. Yeah, man. So I don't know, man. This league this year is going to be interesting. But the way I look at Liverpool, I think we are above everybody else. And it will be nice for Liverpool fans to start believing that and stop being player FC and stop being manager FC and stop hoping that, oh, the manager doesn't win because the previous manager did not get enough money, blah, 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 blah. Right now, we are Liverpool looking down on everybody, and the rivals are jealous. Like, I've never seen rival fans so scared before. Arsenal spent more money than us. They brought all the players. They had a shopping list, and they brought all of them. But yet, they're still saying we are weak on the left side. They got 3 players per position. Irishman, what do you got coming up this week, man?
I don't really. Yeah, there's what you doing in international week. Not really sure. You just probably
talk about Liverpool.
Yeah, just shows. Just shows probably most nights, every night, whatever. But yeah, not that, you know, we're in a kind of we're in the chill out room now, basically, after the kind of the madness of the summer, and it is a bit kind of frustrating that you have all these new players joining clubs and then you have to wait nearly 2 weeks to watch them play. So it's a bit of a weird kind of gap there.
Patient.
So yeah, sure.
Patient.
Yeah, we'll try and fill in some time and see how they're all getting on. And
well, Mr. Butter Red has given you an idea. He said watching Sweden training and come videos.
No, my look, I get copyrighted again. So yeah.
No, I think international season is going to be very, very competitive because the World Cup is all World Cup qualifiers, right? The African, what's it called, CFA, they are 3 games away from the official main, and then, of course, they're going to have playoffs. Like, for instance, Ghana needs 2 wins and a draw, and then they are in the World Cup. I think if with Europe usually start late. So from now on, all international matches for Europe, it's hardcore. Like, it's like basically playing Euro because all of them is qualifiers. South America, I think they are almost there. So there will be, I don't think South America, it will be that tough because I think the first 3 or 4 countries has already qualified. The islands, what's going on with the islands, Bajan? How's the West Indies looking like, man? I know Americas is always Mexico and America. Canada, I think. Oh yeah, Mexico, America, and Canada already in because they are hosting it. So who are we trying to see coming out? There's going to be more countries this time around. So World Cup is going to be. So I think international break this time is going to be more entertaining because even last year it was quite entertaining. Some of the matches were very good. Actually, I was enjoying some of the matches in the international break. So I'm thinking maybe because of the World Cup qualifiers, which all of them are playing, 95% of them, it's going to be entertaining. What do you think about that?
Yeah, big fan. I don't get to watch a lot of the qualifiers and all that, because they're on across, especially across the world, other than like what's going on here. But yeah, I'm a big fan of international tournaments. I love the World Cup and the Euros when they get started. But yeah, there's so much qualifying games going on. Ireland are playing Hungary, so we'll get to watch Szoboszlai and Kerkez come to playing the Irish. So yeah, no, it's you just at this point you're kind of it's very much the look, go do well, but don't come back injured.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, man.
That's really why the main thing now.
I'll be holding my seat when they go out on international break, man. I'm like, please don't come back.
Liverpool players going to play for the English lads going to play for England have a terrible record.
Yeah. Well, this year we only have Curtis Jones for England.
Yeah, I think it's just Curtis.
Pajan said they just do cricket. Hey, cricket is a very popular sport. I think it's bigger than football, and it's tough. I mean, that ball be flying way too fast for my eyes, man. Sheesh, I could never play cricket. I love my eyes too much. But hey, I mean, TNT, when TNT came to the World Cup, I think it was 2006. I believe they were excited. I remember that. And then when Jamaica also came in, it was exciting. See the World Cup, a lot of people just want the big boys, big boys. No, I love the Cinderella stories and unknown countries. Even when Angola came in and played and they won 1 or 2 games or something like that, that is, for me, that is the World Cup. When it gets to the business end, which is the quarterfinals, it becomes too business for me. It's like, okay, now everybody has to be serious. It's not even fun anymore. The World Cup is fun in the group stages where some people think it's boring, and then the first round of the knockout stage, and after that is just back to business. But like, when TNT was in it, Jamaica was in it, Angola, like Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, that was exciting, And hopefully this time the African countries will go far because we need to crack the semifinal. Well, we did crack the semifinals for the first time. We need to get to the final. We need to get to the final. But people, thank you so much for joining us, man. We appreciate every single one of you guys. Please do go to my brethren Irishman's channel and subscribe. Please go to the Bajan Red Family, Bajan TV, and subscribe. They do great work. This is a community and family show, so we promote each one of ourselves. We don't do the banter channels. That's why we're able to debate with you guys and you're able to express yourself. Irishman, as always, thank you so much. People, produced by Irishman, Kwesi versus the Hot Sauce.
The Hot Sauce.
When we get to 1,000 subscribers, man, it's going live. We're watching live. Everything is going to be live. I think the hottest sauce we know right now is the Carolina Reaper. So if you guys want to see me, please subscribe because right now it's me and my sauces, and we are 98.5%. We are very close to 99%. So, we didn't get what's his name, Gehi, so we would take the hit. That's how good we are. Although some people say no, we would not. We would take the hit. The 3 Ketchup. Thank you so much for coming in. I believe they are Guna channel. They want me on their channel. Thank you so much for inviting me. I will be there. We will connect, okay? We will connect, and I'm coming in. Pause. Okay, Pops, you don't need to be doing that, okay? He will be coming to Liverpool. He will be coming to Liverpool. Don't worry. He will be coming to. He's just injured right now. All right. We have his brethren, which is words. We're gonna bring him later, and all you guys who are gonna be apologizing to me. Oh, I'll be waiting for that day. Pops, come on. Why you? No, Olise is coming. That one I can tell people that for sure. We'll do a show about it. Olise is coming. You want to write that one down, Irishman?
No, I've seen the rumors.
Olise is coming, man. I mean, Pops, who's a avid Salah fan, is even ready to sell Salah just to get Olise. Olise is coming, man. But big up to all of you guys, man. Thank you so much for coming in. Please have a wonderful week. Relax. Liverpool still top of the league. We haven't gone anywhere. We are the only club with perfect record. I mean, what else do you want? We will get Gehi in January. I believe so. Irishman, you have anything to tell us before we get out of here?
No, let's enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.
Thank you so well. People, peace.